All right, let's jump right in. We're about to explore one of the most powerful prayers you'll ever come across. And what's amazing is, it wasn't spoken in some peaceful temple, but right on the heels of a massive, devastating war. This is so much more than just a prayer. It's really a masterclass in spiritual vision.
So try to picture this scene. The Great Kurukshetra War. This epic conflict has finally ended. The Pandavas have won. You can just imagine this huge, collective sigh of relief. The fighting's done, the suffering seems to be over, and for the first time in a long time, they can actually think about the future. But just when they think they're safe, just as they let their guard down, one last, horrifying threat appears. Ashwathama, in a final, desperate act of revenge, unleashes the Brahmastra. We're talking an ultimate, unstoppable weapon. And its target? The single last hope for their entire family line, the unborn baby Parikshit, still inside his mother Uttara's womb. This wasn't just another attack. This was aimed at total annihilation. And in that moment of pure crisis, Krishna steps in and does the impossible. He miraculously saves the child, saving the entire dynasty from being wiped out. So now, as Krishna gets ready to leave, Queen Kunti, the matriarch, a woman who has seen decades of unbelievable hardship, she steps forward. But she's not just walking up to say a quick thank you.
No, what happens next is just extraordinary. Her prayer, it's more like a deep philosophical revelation. It's the culmination of an entire lifetime of suffering, of being exiled, hunted, and losing so much, but all of it was built on this foundation of just unshakable faith. So this isn't a prayer born from a moment of relief. It's born from a lifetime of deep, hard-won realization.
So what is it that makes her prayer so different, so special? Well, it's defined just as much by what she doesn't ask for as by what she says. And this gets us right to the heart of this idea called unalloyed devotion. You know, you can really see two different paths here. On one side, there's what you might call transactional prayer, the asking devotion. It's probably the most common kind, right? God, please protect me, give me this, solve that problem. But Kunti and her family, they represent something else entirely, the giving devotion. Think about it. After decades of unbelievable suffering, they never once went to Krishna and demanded that he save them. They simply offered him their love and trusted his plan completely.
And that, right there, is the definition of unalloyed or pure devotion. It's a love with absolutely no strings attached. It's not a deal. It's not a negotiation. It's just a complete, selfless offering of the heart, one that's built on 100% faith and trust that everything is in divine hands.
And here's the crucial takeaway. For someone with that kind of pure devotion, protection isn't something you even need to ask for. It's just a natural result of that loving relationship. Krishna himself says this in the Bhagavad Gita. When that pure devotion is there, divine protection is an automatic guarantee. And that's so important because it frees you from the anxiety of constantly asking, and it just lets you live in that state of trust.
Okay, now let's get to the next part of her prayer, which is just as mind-blowing. Kunti doesn't just say thanks, she starts to describe who Krishna really is. And in doing so, she basically pulls back the curtain on this huge, divine mystery that keeps him hidden from most people.
She describes him in 4 ways that seem to totally contradict each other, but she sees them all at once. First, as the supreme controller of everything, Ishvara. But at the very same time, she knows he's hidden from the unwise, the Muthadrisha. Then, she speaks to him as her loving nephew, the son of Vasudeva, while in the next breath, praising his stunning divine form, symbolized by the lotus, or Pankaja.
And this is where it gets really interesting, this paradox she sees so clearly. She completely understands that this person standing in front of her, the one who acted as a messenger, who even played the role of a humble chariot driver for her son, is also the ultimate master of the entire universe. He's both incredibly personal and cosmically all-powerful at the same time.
And get this, Kunti uses this amazing metaphor to explain how he stays hidden. She says he's like an actor on a stage. You know, people in the audience, they see the costume and the character, but they don't recognize the real person underneath. Well, in the same way, because of Maya, or worldly illusion, people see Krishna as just another person, a great king, a smart politician, but they totally miss his true divine self. Only a devotee can see past the disguise.
Her description of his form is it's pure spiritual poetry. She keeps using the image of the lotus, or Pankaja. She talks about his lotus navel, his lotus garland, his lotus eyes, and his lotus feet. And in Vedic symbolism, the lotus is this powerful symbol of purity and transcendence.
something beautiful that grows out of the mud but is never touched by it. So each of these descriptions is like a deep meditation on his divine nature.
Okay, so this all sounds incredible, right? Kunti's understanding is on another level. But it begs the most important question for all of us. Is this kind of insight even accessible? How does anyone get to a place of such profound vision? Well, the answer is actually surprisingly simple.
Seriously, how can any of us in our own lives even begin to see the world this way? It's not about learning complex philosophy or doing intense rituals. Kunti herself points us to the answer.
The secret is that this is a path of the heart, not a path of the intellect. It's about being sincere, not about being a great scholar. It's about humility, not pride. And it's all built on a foundation of simple, unwavering faith and trust. And that's what makes this so beautiful. It's the great equalizer. This path is open to absolutely anyone, no matter who they are or what their background is.
In her prayer, Kunti actually says something like, "How can I, just a simple woman, possibly understand you when even the greatest sages struggle?" But see, that's the key. Her profound humility, that lack of any intellectual pride, that's precisely what clears the path for divine grace to enter. It's the very thing that allows her to see a truth that so many others, far more qualified, completely miss.
And that just leaves us with this one final powerful idea. True spiritual knowledge isn't about how many books you've read or how intellectually sharp you are. It's about realization. It's about a deep, genuine feeling and understanding in your heart. Kunti's prayer is this timeless, beautiful reminder that the greatest truths aren't figured out by the mind, they're revealed to a sincere and humble heart.